You are being haunted. You are not haunted by a poltergeist or a demon or a spirit from the Victorian age. You are haunted by something far more terrifying because it is something that you cannot exorcise with a prayer or a ritual. You are haunted by the ghost of the man you could have been. Look at yourself in the mirror. Really look. Behind the eyes that stare back at you, there is a vision. It is a high-definition, technicolor vision of a life that feels so real, you can almost taste it. In this vision, you are not the person you are today. In this vision, you are a creature of discipline. You are physically dangerous. You are financially sovereign. You command respect when you walk into a room, not because you demand it, but because your presence radiates competence. You see yourself finishing the projects you started. You see yourself building the empire. You see yourself living with a sense of purpose that burns like a nuclear reactor in your chest. You know, with an arrogant, painful certainty, that you have the intelligence to make this happen. You look at the world around you, at the people who are making it, and you think, I'm smarter than them. I am more creative than them. If I just applied myself, I could destroy them. But then, the sun comes up. The alarm rings. You drink your coffee. You sit down at your desk. The stage is set. The opportunity is right in front of you. And then, the horror begins. You freeze. It is not a metaphor. It is a physiological reality. A silent, invisible wall slams down between your intention and your action. You sit there staring at the screen or the books or the gym bag, and you feel a physical resistance in your chest. It feels like gravity has suddenly increased tenfold. It feels like you are moving through wet concrete. Your brain, which was so loud with ideas and strategies the night before, suddenly goes foggy. A static noise fills your head. A low-grade, vibrating anxiety begins to churn in your stomach. You try to force yourself. You say, just start, just do it, but your body refuses to obey. It is as if your nervous system has been hijacked, so you begin the negotiation. The subtle, insidious negotiation with your own weakness. You tell yourself, I just need to get in the right state first. I just need to check my phone for 1 second to clear my mind. I just need to organize my desk. I just need to find the perfect music playlist. And you open the phone, you click the app, and the dopamine hits. For a few minutes, the anxiety disappears. The scrolling numbs you. The videos distract you. The cheap entertainment acts as a digital morphine, dulling the sharp pain of your own inaction. But time does not stop. Tick, tock, tick, tock. The minutes turn into hours. The morning bleeds into the afternoon. The shadows in your room get longer. The sun begins to set, and you look at the clock and realize, with a sinking feeling of nausea, that the day is gone, and you have done nothing. You haven't built the empire. You haven't written the book. You haven't changed your life. You have just existed. You have successfully killed another 24 hours of your limited time on this earth. There is a specific category of men who are trapped in this exact purgatory. Society calls you lazy. Your parents probably called you wasted potential. Your teachers called you smart but unmotivated. But those words are too simple. They are insults, not diagnoses. Laziness implies that you are enjoying yourself. The true lazy man loves to do nothing. He sits on the couch, drinks his beer, watches his show, and feels perfectly content. He has no ambition, so he has no conflict. He is at peace with his mediocrity. You are not at peace. You are in hell. Your rest is not restorative. It is poisoned. Every moment you spend procrastinating is filled with a toxic mixture of guilt, shame, and panic. You are not relaxing. You are hiding. You are hiding from the judgment of reality. You are hiding from the possibility that maybe, just maybe, you aren't as special as you think you are. This condition has a name in clinical psychology, abulia. the pathological inability to make decisions or act, but let's use the language of the shadow. Let's call it what it really is, the freeze response. In nature, an animal has three responses to a predator: fight, flight, or freeze. If the threat is too big to fight and too fast to outrun, the animal plays dead. It shuts down its nervous system. It numbs itself to the incoming pain. Your brain, your ancient lizard brain, perceives the work not as an opportunity, but as a predator. Why? Because the work threatens your ego. As long as you do nothing, you are still the man with potential. You are still the genius in waiting. You are safe in the womb of possibilities. But the moment you act, you enter the arena. You might fail. You might be criticized. You might produce something mediocre, and your ego would rather be a perfect fantasy than an imperfect reality. So you freeze. You choose the safety of the paralysis over the danger of the progress. And this brings us to the darkest part of your existence, the nightly ritual. The moment the lights go out, you lie in bed, the phone is away, the distractions are gone. It is just you and the ceiling, and the guilt descends upon you like a lead blanket. You do a mental inventory of your day. What did I do today? Who did I become today? And the answer echoes in the silence of the room. Nothing. No one. The self-loathing is so intense it makes you want to scream. You feel like a fraud. You feel like a child trapped in a man's body. You look at the ceiling and you think, I am wasting my life. I am dying. The pain of this realization is too much to bear. If you stayed in this pain, you would go insane. So, your brain offers you a drug, a painkiller to help you sleep. It whispers the most dangerous lie in the human language. Don't worry, tomorrow will be different. And you latch onto that lie. You drink it down. You start to fantasize about tomorrow you. Tomorrow, you tell yourself, I will wake up at 5 a.m. I will run 10 miles. I will work for 12 hours. I will eat clean. I will read philosophy tomorrow. The transformation begins. This fantasy releases a hit of hope. It feels like you've already done the work. You feel a sense of relief. The anxiety fades. You have successfully pushed the pain of today into the imaginary land of tomorrow. You fall asleep, comforted by the hallucination of your future success. But when you wake up, it is not tomorrow. It is today. Again. And today you is just as tired, just as scared, and just as frozen as yesterday you. The motivation is gone, the resistance is back, the wall is up, and the cycle repeats, day after day, month after month, year after year, until one day you look in the mirror, and the young man with the potential is gone, and staring back at you is the old man, the man who waited too long, the man who lived a provisional life, the man who kept saving his energy for a special occasion that never came. This video is your wake-up call. We are not here to give you productivity hacks. You don't need a new calendar app. You don't need the Pomodoro technique. You need a psychological exorcism. You need to understand the biological machinery that is keeping you frozen, and you need to learn how to break it with brute force. You are an engine revving at 8,000 RPM, but the gear is in neutral. You are burning fuel. You are making noise. You are vibrating with energy, but you are not moving 1 inch. And if we don't shift gears right now, the engine is going to explode. You have big dreams. You can see yourself succeeding, but you are stuck. You are ambitious, but you are paralyzed. Let's walk into the dark room of your mind and turn on the lights. Let's find out why you are doing this to yourself. Welcome to the psychology of the frozen man. We have established that you are haunted. We have established that you are frozen. Now, we must ask the question that keeps you awake at night. Why? Why, if you want success so badly, do you sabotage yourself every single day? Why, if you know exactly what to do, Does your body refuse to do it? You probably think you are broken. You think you lack character, but the truth is far more disturbing. You are not broken. You are functioning exactly as you were designed to function. The problem is that you were designed for a world that no longer exists. To understand your paralysis, we have to open up your skull and look at the machinery inside. You do not have one brain, you have two. And right now, those two brains are engaged in a violent, bloody civil war. Combatant number one lives right behind your forehead. It is called the prefrontal cortex. This is the newest part of your brain. It is the human brain. It is the seat of the ego, logic, and planning. This is the part of you that wants to be rich. This is the part that wants to be fit. This is the part that says, I will build an empire. It is the architect. It understands time. It understands consequences. It is the God within the machine. But deep inside your skull, buried under millions of years of evolution, lives combatant number two. It is called the limbic system, or as the neuroscientists call it, the lizard brain. This is the animal brain. It does not care about your empire. It does not care about your legacy. It does not care about your future. It cares about only two things. 1, safety. 2, pleasure. The lizard brain is ancient. It kept your ancestors alive in the jungle. When they saw a predator, the lizard screamed, run. When they saw food, the lizard screamed, eat. It operates on immediate feedback. It is fast. It is powerful, and it has its hand on the steering wheel of your nervous system. Here is the tragedy of the modern man. You are living in a sophisticated digital society, but you are navigating it with the hardware of a caveman. When you sit down to work on your big project, writing the code, editing the video, studying the market, your prefrontal cortex, the architect, sees an opportunity. But your limbic system, the lizard, sees something else. It sees energy expenditure. It sees risk. It sees pain. To the lizard brain, hard work looks remarkably like starvation or injury. It thinks, why waste calories on this abstract goal that might not pay off for 5 years? That is dangerous. Let's conserve energy. Let's stay in the cave. So, the lizard pulls the emergency brake. It releases cortisol, stress hormone, to make you feel anxious about starting. It convinces you that you are not ready. It creates that physical freeze response we talked about. But the lizard doesn't just use the stick, pain. It also uses the carrot, pleasure. And this is where the modern world has weaponized your own biology against you. Let's talk about the weapon of mass destruction that you carry in your pocket every day, the smartphone, or more specifically, the dopamine loop. Dopamine is not the pleasure molecule, as people often think. Dopamine is the molecule of craving. It is the molecule of more. In nature, you had to work for dopamine. You had to hunt the deer to get the meat. You had to climb the tree to get the honey. The effort preceded the reward. But today, you have hacked the system. You have access to supernormal stimuli. Pornography is supernormal sexual stimulus. Video games are supernormal achievement stimulus. Social media is supernormal social stimulus. Junk food is supernormal caloric stimulus. These things flood your brain with cheap, unearned dopamine. They light up your reward centers like a Christmas tree, and your lizard brain loves them. Why would it want to hunt, do deep work, when it can just open Instagram and get the same chemical hit for zero effort? This creates a physiological condition called dopamine downregulation. Think of your dopamine receptors like ears. If you scream into someone's ears with a megaphone all day long, high stimulation, they eventually go deaf to protect themselves. Your brain has gone deaf to normal levels of stimulation. This is why work feels so boring. This is why reading a book feels like torture. This is why you can't sit still for 10 minutes. Compared to the neon-colored, flashing light, high-speed carnival of your phone, real life feels grey and lifeless. Your baseline for stimulation is so high that normal, productive human behavior registers as pain. You are an addict. You are not addicted to a substance. You are addicted to the path of least resistance. You have trained your lizard brain that whenever you feel a tiny bit of stress or boredom or doubt, you can instantly escape into the digital womb. The architect, your dreams, is screaming at you to build, but the lizard, your biology, is drugged out of its mind on cheap pleasures. And here is the Jungian twist. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow, the dark, repressed, primitive side of the psyche. The limbic system is the biological seat of the shadow. The shadow is the part of you that wants to remain unconscious. It is the part of you that wants to be a child forever. It is the gravitational pull of the abyss. Every time you choose the phone over the work, you are feeding the shadow. Every time you choose the tomorrow, lie over the today action, you are letting the lizard win. And the scary part, the lizard is getting stronger. Neuroscience tells us that neurons that fire together wire together. Every day that you repeat this cycle of procrastination and cheap dopamine, you are physically thickening the neural pathways of laziness. You are building a superhighway to failure in your own brain. At the same time, the neural pathways for discipline, the connection to your prefrontal cortex, are withering away. They are atrophying like a muscle in a cast. You are physically rewiring your brain to be a loser. You are sculpting your own mind into the shape of a coward. This is not a moral judgment. This is a biological fact. The pain you feel when you try to work, that is real pain. There is a part of the brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Scientists have found that this specific area grows when you do things you do not want to do. It is the willpower muscle. In people who seek comfort, this area is shriveled and small. In people who endure hardship, it is large and robust. Right now, your willpower muscle is atrophied. That is why the freeze feels so heavy. You are trying to lift a 500-pound deadlift with the muscles of a child. So stop wondering why it is so hard. Of course it is hard. You are fighting millions of years of evolution. You are fighting a dopamine addiction. And you are fighting a physically weak brain. You are entering a gunfight with a knife. But the war is not lost. The brain is plastic. It can be changed. But it cannot be changed by wishing. It cannot be changed by visualization. It can only be changed by a radical intervention. We have to starve the lizard, and we have to force the architect to take the wheel. In the next block, we are going to look at the psychological trap that keeps you stuck in this cycle, even when you try to break out. We are going to talk about the mask you wear to protect your fragility. We are going to talk about perfectionism, and I will show you why your high standards are actually just fear in a tuxedo. We have exposed the biological war in your brain. We know that your lizard brain is screaming for safety, but you are a human being, not just an animal. You have a complex intellect. You cannot simply admit to yourself, "I am afraid." That would be too painful for your ego to accept. The ego needs a disguise. It needs a noble reason to justify your cowardice. So, your mind constructs a beautiful, glittering suit of armor, and the name of that armor is perfectionism. How many times have you told yourself or others, "I'm just a perfectionist. I can't release this until it's right. I'm not procrastinating. I'm planning. I need to figure out the best strategy before I start. I have high standards. I refuse to produce garbage." It sounds so virtuous, doesn't it? It sounds like you are a person of quality. But let's be brutal. It is a lie. Perfectionism is not the pursuit of excellence. Perfectionism is paralysis disguised as virtue. Perfectionism is the premier defense mechanism of the ambitious but lazy man. Here is the psychological mechanism at play. You have a vision in your head from block 1. In this vision, the business is already a Fortune 500 company. The book is already a bestseller. The body is already Olympian. The vision is flawless. It is pure. It is safe. But reality is messy. Reality is chaotic. Reality is full of mistakes. The moment you take action, the moment you write the first sentence, or film the first video, or make the first sales call, you are bringing your perfect vision into the imperfect world, and inevitably, the result will be mediocre. At least at first, your first draft will be terrible. Your first business idea will have flaws. Your first workout will be weak, and you cannot handle that. Why? Because you suffer from what psychologists call the fixed mindset of the gifted child. Many of you were told you were smart when you were young. You were told you were talented. You built your entire identity around being the smart kid or the creative genius. To the smart kid, effort is a sign of weakness. If you have to try hard, it means you aren't a natural. And worse, if you try your hardest and you fail, you lose your identity. If you take the test without studying and get a C, you can say, well, I didn't study. Your ego is safe. But if you study for weeks and get a C, then you are just dumb. Your ego cannot survive that truth. So, you choose perfectionism. You choose to stare at the blank page forever, because as long as the page is blank, it could be a masterpiece. As long as you don't start the business, it could be a billion-dollar unicorn. Potential is safe. Execution is dangerous. You are protecting a fragile definition of yourself. You would rather be the undiscovered genius who never tries than the struggling beginner who is learning in public. Let's look at the math of your neurosis. You think you are waiting for quality. You think, I will wait until I can make one perfect thing. But look at the masters you admire. Look at the artists, the entrepreneurs, the athletes. Did they start with perfection? No, they started with volume. Picasso painted over 13,000 paintings. Do you think all of them are masterpieces? No, most are forgettable. But he had to paint the bad ones to get to the Guernica. Mozart wrote hundreds of compositions. Babe Ruth struck out 1,130 times. The path to excellence is paved with a mountain of garbage. You have to produce the garbage to get to the gold. But you are too arrogant to produce garbage. You think you are too special to be a beginner. You think you should be able to skip the sucking phase and jump straight to the mastery phase. This is nothing but ego. It is arrogance masked as standards. The perfectionist is actually the most terrified person in the room. He is terrified of judgment. He is terrified of being cringe. He is terrified of looking in the mirror and seeing a beginner. And so, you enter the analysis paralysis loop. You consume information. You watch tutorials. You read books. You buy the expensive camera before you've ever filmed a scene. You design the logo before you've ever sold a product. You build the perfect workout spreadsheet before you've ever lifted a weight. This is what we call productive procrastination. It feels like work. It looks like work, but it is not work. It is masturbation. You are stimulating yourself with the feeling of progress without enduring the pain of production. You are building a map for a territory you are too afraid to enter. Let me give you a harsh truth that Jung understood well. Life is messy. Life is chaotic. The puer aeternus, the eternal child, wants to fly above the chaos, where everything is pure and abstract. But the man descends into the mud. The man engages with the messy, dirty, imperfect material of reality. By refusing to be imperfect, you are refusing to be alive. You are choosing sterility over vitality. Look at that marble statue in your mind. It is perfect, yes, but it is cold, it is stone, it is dead. The rough clay in the hands of the potter is ugly, wet, and shapeless, but it is alive. It is becoming something. You need to kill the inner critic, that voice in your head that says, this isn't good enough before you've even finished it. That is the voice of your shadow trying to keep you safe. You need to scream at that voice. I don't care if it's good. I care that it exists. A bad page is better than a blank page. A failed business is better than an idea. A rejection is better than silence. Because you can fix a bad page. You can pivot a failed business. You can learn from a rejection, but you cannot fix nothing. You cannot steer a parked car. You are waiting for the fear to go away before you start. You are waiting to feel ready. Let me tell you the secret that the successful men know and you don't. The fear never goes away. The feeling of imposter syndrome never leaves. The doubt is always there. The only difference between you and them is that they act while they are afraid. They accept that their first attempt will be embarrassing. They embrace the cringe. You have to be willing to be a fool to become a master. Are you willing to look stupid? Are you willing to produce something ugly? If the answer is no, then turn off this video. Go back to your fantasy. Go back to your haunted house of potential. You are done. But if the answer is yes, if you're finally ready to drop the heavy shield of perfectionism and pick up the muddy shovel of work, then we can move on. Because once you stop trying to be perfect, you create a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. You need something to replace the perfect plan. You need a mechanism of action. You need to understand the lie of the future. You need to understand why your brain keeps tricking you into thinking that tomorrow will be the day you finally feel like working. In the next block, we are going to destroy the concept of time. We are going to dismantle the tomorrow trap. We have diagnosed the freeze. We have mapped the war in your brain. We have shattered the mask of perfectionism. Now, we must confront the drug you use to numb the pain of your potential. It is not alcohol. It is not weed. It is not pornography. Those are just symptoms. Your true drug of choice is a concept. It is a word that tastes sweet on your tongue, but turns to ash in your stomach. That word is tomorrow. Let's go back to that moment of guilt we talked about in block 1. You are lying in bed. You hate yourself for wasting the day. The anxiety is eating you alive. How do you soothe yourself? How do you lower your heart rate enough to sleep? You make a promise. You say, I wasted today, but tomorrow will be different, and instantly you feel better. Why? Because the human brain has a glitch, a fatal flaw. Psychologists call it hyperbolic discounting or temporal disjunction. When you think about yourself in the present, you are realistic. You know you are tired. You know you are stressed. You know you are lazy. But when you think about yourself in the future, you are delusional. You view future you not as yourself, but as a stranger, and not just any stranger. You view future you as a superhero. Present you is exhausted and addicted to his phone, but future you, oh, he is a machine. Future you loves to wake up at 5 a.m. Future you loves eating broccoli and chicken breast. Future you has infinite willpower, infinite focus, and infinite energy. So what do? You treat future you like a slave. You take all the heavy, painful, boring burdens of your life and you dump them onto his shoulders. I don't want to do this report now. Future me will do it. I don't want to go to the gym today. Future me will go twice as hard tomorrow. This act of delegation brings you immediate relief. It allows you to enjoy the dopamine of the idea of work without the pain of the actual work. You get the credit without paying the bill. But here is the horror story. Future you does not exist. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you are not future you. You are still present you. You are still the same tired, anxious, dopamine-addicted animal you were yesterday. But now, you have a problem. Now you have the work of today, plus the work you dumped on yourself from yesterday. The pile has gotten bigger, the mountain has gotten steeper, and because the mountain is steeper, the resistance is higher. The freeze response is stronger. So what do? You kick the can down the road again. Okay, I'm too overwhelmed today, but Monday is the real start. This is the cycle of doom. You are trapped in a hallucination of time. You live your life waiting for a version of yourself that is never going to walk through the door. Carl Jung saw this clearly in the archetype of the pure eternus, the eternal child. The pure lives exclusively in the future. The pure does not live in reality. He lives in his potential. He says, I am not what I am doing now. I am what I am going to become. This is a defense mechanism against the mediocrity of the present. It comforts you to believe that your current situation is just temporary. You tell yourself, this messy apartment, this empty bank account, this weak body, this isn't the real me. The real me is coming soon. Wake up. This is the real you. You are what you do, not what you say you will do. If you have wasted the last 5 years, you are a time waster. If you have started 10 businesses and finished none, you are a quitter. The labels hurt. Good, they should. Because the tomorrow lie is shielding you from the pain that would actually force you to change. Let's look at the mathematics of your life. Let's assume you live to be 80 years old. If you are 25, you have about 20,000 days left. If you are 30, you have about 18,000. That sounds like a lot. It isn't. Visualize those days as physical coins in a jar. Every morning, the universe takes one coin out and throws it into the abyss. You can never get it back. While you sit there waiting for the right time, the coins are disappearing. Clink, clink, clink. The right time is a myth. You are waiting for a day when you wake up feeling motivated, energized, and fear-free. You are waiting for the clouds to part and a beam of light to hit your desk. Let me save you 10 years of waiting. That day is never coming. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings are weather. They are chaotic and unpredictable. If you build your life on the hope that the weather will be sunny, you will build nothing. Adults work in the rain. Children wait for the sun. You need to understand the concept of the eternal now. There is no tomorrow. There is only a seamless series of nows. When you finally do the work, it will not be tomorrow. It will be now. It will be on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. when you feel tired and annoyed and would rather be on TikTok. That is when the war is won. The realization you need to have right now, the realization that should terrify you to your bones, is this: nobody is coming to save you. Future you is not coming to save you. Your parents are not coming to save you. The universe is not going to align for you. You are floating in the middle of the ocean. The boat is sinking. You can sit there and hallucinate a rescue helicopter tomorrow, or you can start swimming today. The water is cold, the swim is hard, but drowning is worse. The tomorrow lie is comfortable because it keeps you in the waiting room, but the waiting room is actually a tomb. Men die in that room. They die with their songs unsung, their books unwritten, and their empires unbuilt. And on their tombstone we should write, "Here lies a man who was going to start tomorrow." Do not let that be your epitaph. So, we have destroyed the illusion of the future. We have trapped you in the present. And in the present, you are still feeling resistance. You are still waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. In the next block, we are going to destroy the final myth. We are going to flip the equation of action and feeling. We are going to teach you the physics of momentum. We are going to explain why you have to act before you feel good, not after. We have trapped you in the present. The escape route to tomorrow is closed. The mask of perfectionism is shattered. So here you are, naked, exposed, facing the work that you have been avoiding for years. And yet, you still don't move. Why? Because you are waiting for a feeling. You are waiting for a magical energy to descend from the heavens and fill your veins with fire. You are waiting to feel like it. You are waiting for motivation. Let me be very clear. Motivation is a parasite. It is a capricious, unreliable, fair-weather friend. It shows up when you are watching a movie trailer. It shows up when you are listening to epic music at 2 a.m. But on Tuesday morning, when it's cold, when the work is boring, motivation is nowhere to be found. If you build your life on the foundation of waiting until I feel like it, you are building your house on sand. Because the pure eternus, the eternal child, is a slave to his moods. If he is happy, he works. If he is sad, he stops. If he is bored, he quits. He believes that the feeling must come before the action. He thinks the equation looks like this: inspiration, motivation, action. He is wrong. The adult, the master, understands that the equation is backward. The laws of physics dictate the reverse. Action, inspiration, motivation. You do not write because you are inspired. You become inspired because you are writing. You do not train because you are energized. You become energized because you are training. This is not philosophy. This is neurochemistry. We talked about the lizard brain earlier. The lizard brain wants to conserve energy. It sees the start of any task as a massive threat. This is what physicists call static friction. If you try to push a heavy car that is parked, the hardest part is the first inch. You have to push with everything you have, and it feels like it will never move. But once the wheels turn, once you have momentum, the car becomes easy to push. You can almost push it with one hand. You are sitting in static friction. You are waiting for the friction to disappear before you push, but the friction never disappears until after you push. The dopamine, the chemical reward you are craving, is not designed to be given before the hunt. It is designed to be released during the pursuit. Nature does not reward you for thinking about hunting. Nature rewards you for the act of hunting. So, how do we hack this system? How do we push the car when we are weak and tired? We use the mechanical override. You must stop treating yourself as a sentient being with feelings that need to be respected. In the moment of execution, your feelings are irrelevant. Your feelings are just biochemical noise. I'm tired. I'm anxious. I'm bored. Who cares? The code does not care if you're tired. The weights do not care if you're anxious. You must detach your consciousness from your emotions. You must become a machine. Machines do not have good days or bad days. They just function. When you flip a light switch, the light does not say, "I'm not really feeling bright today, maybe later." It turns on because it is mechanically obligated to turn on. You need to set up a mechanical obligation for yourself. We call this the low bar. The puer eternus fails because he sets the bar too high. He says, "I will write for 4 hours." The lizard brain sees 4 hours and screams in terror. It slams the brakes. You need to lower the bar so low that your lizard brain doesn't even notice you're working until it's too late. Don't commit to 4 hours. Commit to 2 minutes. Commit to writing 1 sentence. Commit to putting on your gym shoes, not working out. Just putting on the shoes. This sounds ridiculous. It sounds too easy. But you are hacking the activation energy. Once you write 1 sentence, the static friction is broken. You are now in motion, and usually you will write a 2nd sentence, then a 3rd. Suddenly, you look up, and an hour has passed. The motivation you were waiting for. It arrived after you started. This is the secret of the prolific. They do not have more willpower than you. They just have a lower threshold for starting. They don't wait for the lightning strike. They strike the match themselves. There is a concept in Japanese psychology called morita therapy. The core principle is accept your feelings, but do what needs to be done. You can feel fear and still walk forward. You can feel exhaustion and still lift the weight. Your internal state does not have to match your external action. The puer wants alignment. He wants to feel like a hero while he acts like a hero. The man accepts the disconnect. He acts like a hero even when he feels like a coward. And strangely, by acting like a hero, the feeling eventually catches up. The mask becomes the face. So here is your command for this block. Stop negotiating with your mood. Negotiation implies there are two equal parties. There are not. There is the general, you, and the soldier, your body. The general gives the order. The soldier executes. If the soldier complains, the general does not argue. He just points to the trench. You are waiting for the struggle to end. You think, one day, it will become easy. One day, I will want to do it. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. The struggle is the point. The resistance is the way. Every time you act without motivation, you are killing the boy and birthing the man. You are rewiring your brain to run on discipline, which is an infinite fuel source, rather than motivation, which is a flash in the pan. But there is one final trap. Even with discipline, even with the mechanical override, if you are trying to swim upstream in a river of sewage, you will eventually drown. Your internal will is strong, but your external environment is stronger. You are trying to be a monk in a Las Vegas casino. You are trying to focus in a digital candy store. In the next block, we are going to look outside of your head. We are going to talk about the architecture of failure. We are going to show you why your phone, your room, and your friends are designed to keep you small. We are going to redesign your reality. We have given you the mechanical tools to override your lizard brain. We have taught you to push through the static friction. But there is a danger in relying only on brute force. You can have the strongest will in the world, but if you are trying to swim upstream in a river of sludge, you will eventually drown. You are trying to be a stoic monk, but you are living in a digital casino. Here is the hard truth about your laziness. It is not entirely your fault. You are the victim of a crime that is being perpetrated against you every single second of every single day by the smartest engineers in Silicon Valley. You think your phone is a tool. You think it is a neutral object made of glass and silicon. You are naive. Your phone is a slot machine. It was designed by experts in human behavioral psychology to exploit the vulnerabilities of your dopamine receptors. Every color, every sound, every pull to refresh animation was calculated to keep you addicted. They are not selling you a product. You are the product. They are mining your attention and selling it to the highest bidder. And you are walking around with this enemy in your pocket. You are trying to do deep work, which requires profound, uninterrupted focus, while holding a device that is screaming at you to look at it every 3 minutes. This brings us to the concept of willpower. Most men think willpower is a character trait. You either have it or you don't. This is false. Willpower is a battery. It is a biological resource. Every time you resist a temptation, you burn a unit of energy. Scenario A, you sit down to work. Your phone is on the desk, face up. It buzzes. You look at it. You resist picking it up. 5 minutes later, it lights up. You look. You resist. 10 minutes later, you feel the urge to check Instagram. You resist. You think you are winning. No, you are losing. You are burning your battery just to stay seated. By the time you actually start working, your brain is exhausted from the act of resisting. You have decision fatigue. Before you've even made a decision, this is why you fail. You are trying to fight a chemical war with a depleted battery. You are relying on self-control in an environment designed to destroy self-control. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, put it best: you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Right now, your system is designed for failure. Your architecture is built to keep you distracted, anxious, and small. If your phone is next to your bed, you will scroll in the morning. That is architecture. If your desk is covered in trash, Your mind will be cluttered. That is architecture. If your browser tabs are open to YouTube, you will watch videos. That is architecture. To kill the pure eternus, you must become an architect of constraints. The pure loves freedom. He wants to be able to do anything at any time, but total freedom is total chaos. The man understands that freedom comes from structure. You need to redesign your reality so that the good behavior is the path of least resistance, and the bad behavior is the path of most resistance. We call this friction design. Right now, your bad habits have zero friction. It takes 0.5 seconds to open TikTok. It takes 0.5 seconds to grab a cookie. And your good habits have high friction. Your gym clothes are hidden in the closet. Your book is buried under a pile of papers. Flip the friction. Make the bad habits painful. If you are addicted to your phone, do not just try not to look at it. Put it in another room. Lock it in a box. Give it to your friend. Throw it in the car. Create a physical wall between you and the dopamine. When you feel the urge to check it, you have to stand up, walk down the hall, and unlock a door. That tiny bit of friction gives your prefrontal cortex enough time to wake up and say, "Stop. We are working." Make the good habits frictionless. If you want to run in the morning, sleep in your running clothes. If you want to write, leave the document open on your screen before you go to bed. Lower the barrier to entry until it is harder not to do it. And finally, you must create a sacred space. The poor does everything everywhere. He eats in bed. He works on the couch. He plays games at his desk. His brain is confused. It doesn't know what mode to be in. When he sits at the desk, the brain thinks, is this work time or is this gaming time? You need to segregate your life. Pick a spot, a chair, a corner of the table, a specific room. That spot is for war. When you sit there, you work, period. If you want to scroll, you must physically stand up and leave that spot. If you want to eat, you leave that spot. Over time, you will anchor a state to that location. Eventually, just sitting in that chair will trigger the focus mode automatically. You are building a Pavlovian response for productivity. This is not about being tidy. This is about respect. Respect for your mission, respect for your mind. You cannot build an empire in a landfill. Order manifests the mind. Chaos manifests confusion. Look around you right now. Look at your room. Look at your desk. Is this the environment of a king? Or is this the playroom of a child? Does this space scream focus, or does it scream distraction? If you do not design your life, someone else will design it for you. And their design will not be for your benefit. Their design will be to keep you addicted, broke, and paralyzed. You have to sever the umbilical cord to the matrix, turn off the notifications, grayscale the screen, unsubscribe from the noise, build a fortress around your attention. Because your attention is the only currency you have. If you let them steal it, you are bankrupt. So, we have the mindset, kill the perfectionism. We have the mechanics, action before motivation. We have the environment, the fortress. Now, there is only one thing left. The final transformation. You can do all the work, but if you still see yourself as the lazy kid, you will eventually self-sabotage to return to that identity. We need to change the operating system at the root level. We need to change who you are. In the final chapter, we are going to perform the identity shift. We are going to say the final goodbye to the boy, so the man can finally breathe. We have reached the end of the diagnosis. We have exposed the lizard brain. We have shattered the mask of perfectionism. We have destroyed the illusion of tomorrow. We have redesigned your architecture. You now have all the weapons you need, but weapons are useless if the hand that holds them is shaking. Tools are useless if the mechanic is broken. You can have the best routine in the world. You can have the best apps, the best gym membership, and the cleanest desk. But if you still see yourself as the lazy kid, you will fail. because the strongest force in the human personality is the need to remain consistent with how we define ourselves. If your internal identity is, "I am a procrastinator," then no matter how hard you try, your subconscious mind will sabotage you to bring you back to that baseline. You might have a good week, you might work hard for 3 days, but eventually your brain will whisper, "This isn't you. You're the guy who quits. You're the guy who sleeps in. Come back to us." And you will crash, you will revert. This is why self-improvement fails for 99% of men. They try to change what they do without changing who they are. They are trying to run success software on victim hardware. To win this war, we need to go to the root. We need a hard reset. We need to perform the psychological surgery that Carl Jung hinted at, and that ancient rites of passage enforced. We need to kill the pure eternus. We need to kill the boy. There is a line from Game of Thrones, a piece of pop culture that accidentally stumbled upon a profound archetypal truth. An old, wise man tells the young hero, Jon Snow, "Kill the boy and let the man be born." This is not a metaphor. This is an instruction. You cannot keep the boy alive and hope to become a king. They cannot coexist in the same throne room. One of them must die. Who is the boy? The boy is the part of you that wants to be saved. The boy is the part of you that thinks the world owes him something just because he has potential. The boy is the part of you that is addicted to comfort, addicted to approval, and terrified of pain. The boy wants to play. The boy wants to be infinite. The boy refuses to choose a path because choosing means sacrificing all the other paths. And as long as the boy is running your life, you will be a slave to the freeze. The man, the king, is different. The man does not want to be saved. He knows he is the savior. The man does not care about potential. He cares about result. The man accepts pain as the price of admission to reality. So, how do you kill the boy? You do not do it with a weapon. You do it with a funeral. You must grieve the death of the person you used to be, and more importantly, you must grieve the death of the person you thought you were going to be. You have to let go of the fantasy. You have to admit, "I am not a genius. I am not special. I am currently a loser who wastes his time." That admission hurts. It burns. It feels like death. Good. Let it burn. That burning is the fever breaking. You must stop saying, "I am trying to work," and start saying, "I am a worker." You must stop saying, "I am trying to quit wasting time," and start saying, "I do not waste time." The difference is subtle, but it is everything. One is a struggle. The other is an identity. When you identify as a worker, working is not something you force yourself to do. It is simply what you do. It is natural. An eagle does not need motivation to fly. It flies because it is an eagle. You need to become the kind of animal that hunts goals for sustenance. This transformation requires a sacrifice. The ancient alchemists knew that to create gold, you had to burn the lead. The lead is your comfort. The lead is your video games. The lead is your scrolling. You have to throw them onto the fire. You cannot hold on to your childish habits and reach for your masculine destiny at the same time. Your hands are full. Drop the toys. This is the scary part. This is the part where you look in the mirror and say goodbye to your innocence. You are stepping out of the Garden of Eden. You are stepping into the cold, hard world of responsibility. But let me tell you what happens on the other side of that death. When you finally kill the boy, the noise stops. The anxiety that has buzzed in your chest for years, it goes quiet. The guilt that keeps you awake at night, it vanishes. Why? Because you are finally aligned. Your biology, your psychology, and your actions are all moving in the same direction. You feel a strange, quiet power growing in your stomach. It is not the manic energy of motivation. It is the solid, heavy gravity of competence. You start to look at a pile of work not with fear, but with aggression. You look at the difficulty and you smile, because you know that the difficulty is the filter that keeps the children out. The difficulty is the wall that protects the castle of success, and you are the one climbing the wall. You are no longer a leaf blowing in the wind. You are a mountain. The wind blows, the storm rages, but the mountain does not move. You are solid. You are real. So, here we are. The video is ending. The music is about to fade out, and you are about to be left alone with the silence. This is the most dangerous moment, because right now, you have a choice. You can close this tab, open a new one, and look for another video. You can look for another hit of dopamine. You can look for another secret. You can let the boy take the wheel again. Or you can do the unthinkable. You can close the laptop. You can put the phone in the other room. You can sit down in the silence, and you can execute one real task. Not tomorrow, not in 5 minutes. Now, the old you would scroll. The new you gets to work. The old you is dead. He died while watching this video. We buried him in the previous blocks. The person listening to me right now is a stranger. You are a blank slate. You are fresh code. What is the first line of code you are going to write? Will it be an excuse, or will it be an action? The mirror is waiting. The old beggar is gone. The reflection is clear. It's just you. The haunting is over. The exorcism is complete. There is nothing left to say. There is only the work. Kill the boy. Let the man be born. Get to work.